How is the art scene ticking? Everything we always wanted to know about art. A podcast of Petra Lossen. Gregory Herpe is a French photojournalist and photographer. He understands himself more as an artist than a journalist. He already exhibited all over the world. For his pictures, he travels around the globe. It is not uncommon for him to enter dangerous situations in order to take the right shot or to wait for hours until the right moment arrives. His focus is on contemporary events, sometimes harrowing, sometimes simply beautiful, but always moving. Hi, Gregory.
Petra.
I'm very happy to have you here with me for this podcast, Gregory. When you were young, you went to Africa.
Oh, well, it was just after my theater studies. I was feeling something like I want to go outside France to live something else. And in Africa, it was like the continent of all exploration, even in myself, inside myself, inside my soul. So I start in Africa to do pictures, but I do also a lot of small jobs to live because I was very young, and I become, for example, a yoga teacher, even through I know nothing about it. I was also a guide, a translator, a DJ in a discotheque. It was the first time, just with my bluff, in fact.
All these things you did in Africa. That is what you did in Africa.
First month to live, to earn money and to live and to be
To
able
survive.
to survive and to take pictures. And then I have the opportunity to photograph endangered animals one day, and it was like a revelation. I took pictures of lion, gorilla, pachyderms, more and more, and I stayed several years in Africa, in several times, and it was amazing because in Africa there is something fascinating all the time, but also dangerous. You feel that even more, actually, of course, because there is more problems like issues like terrorism, etc. But at this time, it was at the beginning of the 90s. The danger was more about animals, in fact, or
Okay.
strugglers.
How did you do that with the lions when you shoot with the lions? I mean,
Yes.
that's quite dangerous.
Yes, but not so much, in fact, because of course I'm hiding myself in a car, in a jeep. But I always take my pictures with wide angles because I need to be really closed to my subject. Even my subject is a wild animal like lions. So I was all the time at maybe 4 or 5 meters from lions for my lions
Wow.
portraits. Yes.
I'm very happy that you're still here.
Me too.
But I heard that lions, they kill humans, but they don't eat them. Is this right? Do you know it?
Yes, normally, but sometimes they eat pieces of humans. Yeah, of course. If they
Oh
are
my
really
goodness.
hungry, if they didn't eat before since maybe a week, for example, like it's usual in the nature, sometimes you could be hit by a lion. But and it's fascinating because. For example, I'm with my guide in a jeep. We are in a reserve, natural park, and we park at maybe 50 meters from a group, and we wait. And there is always a curious lion who approaches at a given moment. And there, in his eyes, you see death. You see that you are only a food for
Oh
them.
my goodness.
Yes.
And
And
how
in
did you manage your fear? I mean, your
yes, because
hands must be shaking.
it's like a phobia for me. I'm petrified of lions, but at the same time, I'm totally fascinated by them. So it's a strange mixture of total terror and love, and
Okay.
the engine for taking pictures from that kind of animal is the beauty of them, and the meaning you will take beautiful portraits,
Yeah. So
of course.
your main focus is on portraits regarding lions, right?
Yes, because as I said, I need to be really closed
Yeah.
from them to catch something more, to catch uh,
Yeah.
their soul or their different faces, because they are all different, and you see a lot of things. You can see the difference, because between a lion, a quiet lion, for example, and a hungry one, or
Yeah.
a very young one who try to who are just curious, who want to play maybe, and the one who wants just to eat you,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just meat for him.
When we look at your portraits, then it's fascinating how different they are. And you can see, I mean, my feeling is that you can see the different characters in their faces.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really fascinating. And you shooted the lions. You started at that time, but you're still doing so. So over many years,
Yes.
you get back to Africa and you're shooting
Yes,
time to
absolutely.
time. That's
Absolutely.
great.
I
Yeah.
want to go back in Africa. Maybe next year. I'm actually talking to a different sponsor to organize something to go there, but this time to take pictures of the spaces in danger, but also the men and women in Africa who work as a better life for them. And there is in many countries a lot of effort, a lot of work, very good work for that goal, in fact. But
Yeah.
not only the lions. Huh? I made pictures also a lot with gorillas, for example, and with
Yes.
elephants and rhino also are more
Sorry.
dangerous.
They are more dangerous.
It's more dangerous to do a picture of a gorilla than a lion in a car. Of course,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
walk
sure.
in the nature and you meet a lion, it's more dangerous than a gorilla. But they live in the forest, gorillas, in Congo
Uh,
or in Cameroon, for example.
yeah.
And you have to work a lot. You
Yeah.
can't hide yourself in a car.
Yeah.
And generally you have to listen to your guide who knows the forest and the animals. At the edge of the forest, you stopped and you wait, and it's like in a movie. You know, the first time I saw the branches moving very hard, and a huge gorilla is coming towards me, but he changed direction and does a kind of dance to the right and to the left, as if to show me his power, and that I have to respect him. He was
Oh
the
God.
leader of the group, the boss,
Yeah.
and he was very strong, very big, 3 times bigger than the others, of course.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if you want to slap your face with his big hands, your head turns around 3 times. Huh? It's impressive. That's what a beauty also. I took my pictures on my knees as not to aggress him, attack him.
Yeah.
It could be translated like that by a big monkey. I must be smaller than him. Of course, never look at him in the eyes.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are a few accidents with gorillas, but never know. You never know. You have to respect nature. It's what counts in
Yeah.
finally. fascinating.
Absolutely, yes. They are so close to us.
Yes, absolutely.
That is the point why they are so fascinating to me. But in general, they're so huge animals, and yeah.
In Senegal, I had a strange moment too, and I didn't have my camera with me, unfortunately. But that's life. I was walking in the savannah, and suddenly a baboon comes towards me quietly. Then another one and another one, and I soon noticed a long line of baboon in front of me, several tens of meters long.
Ooh.
They are moving forward slowly, and behind them, the leader of the pack, bigger and fatter than the others, with huge canines, with huge teeth. And I remain standing, petrified, and I don't move. And they pass around me like a wave, staying 1 or 2 meters away, looking at me. What a sensation. Huh? I was afraid that day, but at the same time, it was a huge happiness, really.
Yeah, finally, because you
Yeah.
survived.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Oh my goodness. But they can
It's
kill you as
impressive.
well, right?
Oh, they could, of course, because
Yeah.
the tooth are really big. They are quite aggressive normally.
Yeah. Gregory, how much time did you stay in Africa at the first time?
The first time it was something like 2 years, but
Okay.
I was 7 years in Africa in total.
Yeah. Okay. You went there. You were pretty young, and
Yes.
did Africa change you?
Yes, probably Africa changed me in the sense that I understood that my life was about travel, about adventure, even if I wasn't always able to travel as much as I wanted afterwards. But it is the land of explorers and adventurers, from Baudelaire to the Dr. Schweitzer. I found myself in a way. Yeah, I knew I was an artist before, but I think I finally understood what kind of artist I am there.
That's great and very important, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I may say you never shoot something normal. It's always special. So you went back to Paris,
Yes.
and then you started shooting Gérard Depardieu, Omar Sharif, David
Yes, yes,
Bowie.
yes. Yeah,
Tell
yeah,
us something about it.
not the first time, because I came to Paris because my first novel, writing during my travels, was published and by a publishing house. There was not many sales, but it got me into energy radio, one of the most powerful in Europe. Not for the photo, of course, but as an author, and then as an editor-in-chief of the second most listened radio show in France. It was an incredible times in the 90s, and radio was extravagant also, with the star host, for example, named Sam Z. We interviewed people like Arnold Schwarzenegger or George Clooney, Will Smith, Bon Jovi, the Spice Girls, and dozens of others, because it was the radio show where they have to be.
And I remember that you told me that sometime Nina Hagen cooked scrambled eggs
yes.
for you.
Yes, yes. It was after a concert. It was after a stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it good?
Yes, it was good. It was simple, but good. It was simple but
Yeah.
good. But it's just a few years after the radio where I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was crazy. We had fire extinguisher fights, for example, in the hallways, or we often tapped the newscaster to his chair live. He couldn't say anything, of course. Then we put him in the elevator and press all the buttons, and energy building is an 11-story building. So,
Oh my goodness.
but well, and after, as you say, I start again to took pictures for as a set photographer, for example, on a movie, because I had a lots of friends who continue in that way, because I start with that theaters and cinema, and during all that movies or stage photograph, I took pictures of Omar Sharif. Absolutely, it was not really nice, not a nice person, and I was disappointed, because for me it was like an icon. The
Yeah,
first
not
day I
only for
was
you,
with
yeah.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, movies like that. But no, in in real life, it was on his last movie, I think. No, not sympathetic at all.
Why?
But it was a lot of arguments with everybody. He told very badly to people, from technique to other actors,
Oh,
and especially actress. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
that.
that's sad.
Uh,
But yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately, those
bad boy.
people exist. Yeah.
And Nina Hagen, it was yes, like I say, on stage. I was there for a press agency, and to do pictures of her concerts. And after that, we really met, and she invited me to eat with her, and she cooked an omelette, scrambled eggs, and we both had. And
Yeah.
a sympathetic moment, very incredible. Yes, she
Yeah.
was a little bit tired, but funny and friendly.
Nice. Yeah. You've met David Bowie. I would love to have met him, but it was not
Yes,
possible. Yeah. By the way, he was a big art collector. And
yes.
in the year when he died, his widow, it was in 2016, as I remember, she sold the whole collection at Sotheby's in London, and it was sold for around 40 million euros. The estimate was 15 million euro. David Bowie once said, "Art is all I ever wanted to own." He was a nice person, right?
Absolutely,
Is this
yes.
right?
I had no friendship with him, of course. I was without any accreditation in Berlin, in fact, in your country. And a friend of mine told me, yeah, David Bowie is in Berlin to do several interviews and photos for magazine, etc. After his last LP, and he told me, you maybe you have to go there. And I wasn't working for any magazine at that time, but I tried, and at the door, it was a big factory for movie in the main city. And the first guy at the first port, the first door, told me, no, you can't, you don't have any accreditation. And I insisted a little bit, and okay, it was good. I was in the studio, and at the last checkpoint, the last door, I met a guy very big. It was the person who managed the day for David Bowie, all the journalists, etc., the photographers. And he told me, no, it's impossible for you. You don't have any accreditation. And I lie a lot. I told him, yes, but I work for a national Rolling Stones magazine. It was, of course, a lie. But he said, no, you can't, you can't, you can't. So I show him several pics from me, from celebrities, but no, he stay on his first ID. And I was very lucky at the time, because his phone he received a call, and he started to talk and to argue and to shout a lot, and I was pushing him. I put a lot of pressure on him, and at a moment he said, "Yes, okay, enter," with
Yeah,
his
that's a
hand.
classical thing. That's what we all know about journalists. They are
Exactly,
doing
exactly.
so it's
You have
classical.
to. Yeah, there is a lot of tricks like that.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
don't have the good tools, you have to imagine something else. So I was in, and we were a lot, maybe 30 or 40 photographers and journalists. And it was a very big studios for a lot of movies or TV series, etc. The set for David Bowie's was a very simple one with a chair, a coach, something like that, and all the photographers was there. And I was the last in the line to wait, so I had time to look around a little bit, and I saw the last set was a subway, but for the movie, cut at the middle, like just a part of the subway. And okay, I came back to in the line, and David Bowie came, and all the photographers made the same pictures, almost.
when happened this?
It was at the beginning of 2010, I think.
Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's quite. It's not so far in the past,
Okay.
and for everybody, it was something like 2 minutes maximum with him, and everybody took his picture like that. And at a moment, I was the last one. It was my turn, and I told him, "Hello, Mr. Bowie. Would you like to do something different? Because you do the same picture since the beginning, and maybe you want to do something else." And he looked at me a little bit surprised, and he told me, he answered me, "Yes, of course,
Yeah,
with
good for
pleasure." And
you.
yeah, good for me. And I told him, I just saw a subway, a very nice subway for movies. Maybe we could do something here. And I asked two women who was there, a makeup artist and somebody else, to be around him on the subway, and I took my picture.
I have never seen this picture. Did you sell it? You don't own the rights of it anymore, or why?
No. It's I was the picture was exhibited in several exhibitions in Brussels, for example, a big one. But I had problems with the press agency who had the rights now, and so now most of the pictures I took with the celebrities are in a folder, and I don't want to show them anymore, because there is always problems with press agencies.
I understand.
And
Yeah,
yeah, well,
that's yeah, sad.
but it's not a big deal, because it's not so fun. In fact, most of the
Okay.
time they are really capricious.
Okay, and you also went to Cambodia, right?
Ah,
And
yes.
you are friends with Tina Kiefer. As I remember, she is a former
She's a
chief
former journalist and a TV host.
journalist, Marie Claire, right?
Yes, for example, yes, she was
Ah,
the
yeah.
she was the director of the redaction of Marie Claire during 10 years.
Ah, okay. And then she
Yeah.
decided to go to Cambodia and help girls who really needed her help.
Yes.
What did you find there?
Yes, because she one day she had four natural children, but she decided to adopt a little girl one day in Cambodia. But when she saw all the problems for girls in that country, and in the orphan, or a lot of issues, especially for the girls, she decides to leave her career in France and to build something to help all that girls. An NGO, non-governmental organization named Toutes à l'école. It's like
all to
all
school.
at school. Huh?
All at school,
in
yeah.
Cambodia, near Phnom Penh, the capital, maybe 30 or 40 kilometers. And for the 10th anniversary, she invited me to go there and to do a black and white photo reportage for a communication for the press in France, especially.
Yeah.
I went to Cambodia at her invitation, and it was probably the most moving reportage I've ever done.
Oh my goodness, yes, I can imagine.
Yes, because at that time my own daughter was very young, maybe 9 or 10 years old, and I saw girls like her, but with very huge issues. Tina saved a lot of girls who have been orphaned or are in the child prostitution. And it's a terrible problem in Southeast Asia.
Oh.
She has built schools, college, and she pays all their schooling. There is a boarding school too, and she wants to help them to have a job like a lawyer or doctor. It's impossible for the moment in Cambodia to be that kind of work for a woman. Huh? And the goal is also to re-feminize the country. It's a patriarchal and corrupted country. So the first day when I came in the school, the children were suspicious because I was an European man.
Yeah.
And the clients of the pedophile prostitution networks are European, American, Australian for maybe 60 or 70%.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest are local Cambodian men. But after a few days, they understood that I was also there to help them to take nice pictures for the communication of the NGO. And they showed me their smile, their joy of living again by making jokes or drawings, etc. And it was great, really. It's incredible the work made by NGO in that kind of country for children or women. They gave them hope again, a future, the feeling that they have a right to have a future and work. Very moving.
They have the teeth change, so they are around 6 years old. Also, it's just so much hurting. Yes.
The smallest one are maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
And the older are 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's
that's hard.
But and they smile really because normally that kind of girls, because they are from the countryside of the country. They don't live they don't live in Phnom Penh, in the capital. So they don't go to school. They work with the mother in the fields, for example. The boys goes to school, but the girls, most of the time, no, they didn't. So they are lucky, and they know that their life start without luck, of course. But now they know the luck they have to change their life, to go to school, to learn. And it's incredible that they learn with a lot of serious. All the girls are graduated at the end.
Oh, fine. That's great.
100%.
Super.
It's incredible. And the intelligence of that NGO is also to learn them with French, English, Belgian, and Cambodian teachers. They learn to them, they teach them, sorry, of course, English, French, a lot of things, mathematics, etc. So they all speak a good French, a good English at maybe 11 or 12 years old.
Super
But
fine.
there is also lessons of Khmer, their own language, and uh, Khmer dances.
Okay.
They learn also their own culture, because the
Yeah.
goal is not to made
To change
European
them.
girls
Yeah.
in Asia.
Yeah. Yeah.
The goal is to make a very intelligent and rich woman for the
Yeah.
future, to
Yeah.
feminize the country, but with their own culture. They don't have to forget their culture for learning English or French.
Yeah.
All together.
And then no boys.
No. It's only for girls, because the girls need more
Yeah.
help in that
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. But the young boys living around this NGO, how do they
I,
think? Are they jealous? Do they think that's good that the girls get something better?
of course, I met a lot of person in the countryside around the schools to talk with them, to try to understand also why so many girls came in that kind of network. But no, there is no jealousy from the boys, the boys, the
That's
child.
good.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think they understand, but in the same way, the boys go most of the time in small school in the villages. Um, and the parents, for the parents, it's a different story, of course.
Mm,
Sometimes it's the own family from a girl who sold her to the
yeah.
prostitution network, because with that money they can eat during 2 years maybe, and they
Unbelievable.
think we can sacrifice a girl
Yeah.
for the whole family. It's really difficult, of course, to understand, but also to judge, because it's a different culture, it's a different
Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah. But the damage is the same.
Yes, of course. And it was a quite. No, I was not really nice in my shoes with that kind of meeting, of course, because for me,
Yeah.
children's this is just innocence. You
Yeah.
don't you can't touch
Yeah.
innocence. You can touch
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
So I try to not judge that parents, but in the meantime, I can't understand. I can't understand, because for my children, I could die tomorrow.
Yeah. That's right. After these experiences in Cambodia, I remember that you also had very strange experiences in Belfast
Yes,
with a lot of adrenaline as well, as you are.
a different one. Yes, in Northern Ireland. Belfast is like all the capital in Europe. You have a city center with a lot of museum, buses with tourist life, and around the city center, a lot of different neighborhoods. And between all the neighborhood, you have armored doors built in during the 70s by English, and it's a very special city. I was there first of all to do pictures of the murals, the political fresco on the houses. on the walls, with all the soldiers from both sides who died during the trouble, like we named the 60s and the 70s and the early 80s in Belfast. The fight between the Great Britain and the Northern Ireland, and especially, of course, the Catholic side with the IRA, the Irish Republican Army. And there is rules like that absolutely everywhere. But like very often in my life, I met the first day somebody really different who changed the way of my photo reportage. I push a door to took a coffee in a small bar in Falls Road. Falls Road is the historical most famous road in Belfast, because a lot of civils was killed by the British Army. And it was like a movie again. Everyone silent, looking at me.
Oh.
And a girl came to me, no word. I asked for a coffee. She gave me a coffee, and then 2 minutes after, a guy comes up to me and gives me like an interrogatory. Who are you? Why do you have a camera with you? Where do you come from? I'm French. Yes, but from where? I'm from Paris. Okay, but before that, your family. And I say I come from Bretagne, Brittany. Oh, Brittany, yeah, La Bretagne. They are like us. They want to be separate from France. They want. And
That's so funny. He was searching for something to make you a friend.
Yes.
I could feel it.
About time, they want independence like us, and I understood what he had in his brain, and I told him, because it was true at that time. And you know what? I live in Catalonia. Oh, Catalan! They are like us. They want also their independence. And he started smiling. He started laughing, and to talk to me, to tell me his story about his father from the IRA also, and his own story also. He was also from the IRA. And at one time, another guy gets up and takes a big bag from out from under the table and puts it on top of mine. And he takes out an assault rifle, the ancestor of the AK-47, a Sturmgewehr.
Sturmgewehr.
44.
Oh my
Sturmgewehr
goodness.
44.
Sturmgewehr.
Yeah, and he puts it in my hands.
Okay.
I had been there for about 15 minutes, maybe, and already surrounded by Iron men with a gun in my hands. It was totally incredible, awesome.
Oh my goodness. Did you remove your fingertips from the weapon?
Yes, of course.
You should have done.
At a moment, after that, we talk, we laugh, of course, and I told him, yes, it's really interesting, your story, and he told me, okay, if you want, next week you can come back to Belfast, and I will open all doors for you, and you will be able to meet a lot of soldiers from IRA. And after that, he told me, okay, you want to take a picture with me? I said, yes, okay.
Sure.
We go outside on the street. I told him, it's not a problem on the street with your assault rifle. He said, no, we are home here. And he took his gun.
My goodness.
armed the girl in front of my face, and he told me, "Okay, do the same with your camera." And I took my picture, and that picture was the first one of that series. And
Yeah.
the next week, of course, I was there again, and it was an incredible experience for me because I met a lot of person who was in prison during sometime 15 or 20 years, sometime
Oh.
for nothing.
Oh.
And it was again like in a movie. I was given a meeting in a bar, for example, at 8 a.m. I was waiting 2, 3, one time for 4 hours before a man came for me. Gregory, yes, follow me. And then I was put in a car, a bonnet, comment c'est, une hood in my head, and
On your head. Yeah, yeah. So that you
yes,
cannot
yes, the
see
hood
anything.
in my head. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like in movies, with
Yeah, yeah,
spies,
yeah.
and I don't know where I go. And sometime we stopped, and they told me to go into such house. There, the man I was to meet stood surrounded by armed men. Once we stopped in the middle of a forest. I was thinking,
Oh
when
my.
you stop in the middle of the forest in a movie, it's not.
We
Yeah,
know
yeah,
the
but
end.
I think it was a kind of folklore, not a joke, but okay. You want to meet us? You want to take pictures? Okay, we will give you a lesson also. We will give you what we could do if we want to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, there is a folklore also with that kind of rope. But all things was okay for me. I wasn't really in danger, but it was impressive because I met a lot of person with a lot of weapons, guns, etc. I never saw so many weapons in Belfast, even in Africa.
And those pictures you sold them to the press agencies, right? And some
Yes,
of them you keep for yourself as art.
yes, absolutely. For my exhibitions, I made a lot of exhibitions, of course, between maybe 5 and 12 every years. Most of the time outside France now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was exhibited in fourth continent for the moment, and even in Africa and in Asia, in South Korea, for example.
How do you know that picture that's for the press and that picture that's art? How do you know it?
It's quite the same, in fact. I don't do a series for the press all the time. Most of the time, my pictures are only for my exhibitions and the collectors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'm looking all the photos I took during a trip, and I'm seeking a series, but a storytelling. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to choose maybe 20 pictures to do a storytelling for the press. They need that. They need a
Yeah.
storytelling, and that's for the press. And all the other, it's for the art for the exhibition. But there is no artistic pictures and then photojournalistic pictures. I took my pictures the same way. It's
Yeah.
the same black and white, sometime in color, but not so many photos. No, it's always the same. I don't want to be in a little square. I'm a free photographer. I do what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
if a press agency asks me to do something, I said no because it's not my cup of tea. I prefer to go in a country with my subject and find something else. And I don't care if press are interesting in them or not. The point for me
Yeah.
is to do beautiful pictures with also message something. I like when my pictures talk also to the public, to people. But I want to do what I want, only that. And for me,
Yeah.
the most important thing is to do exhibitions.
Yeah. Usually the journalists, they work the other way around. So the press agencies, they send them, they ask, make me a picture of this.
Yes,
And then
absolutely.
they start moving, and you move, and then you offer them photos and they can accept or not.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I work for press agencies in Hong Kong,
Mm-hmm.
SOPA Image, and also another one in New York, Polaris. Not so much, in fact.
Yeah. What is your next project?
I have several ones. I I will start really soon a very beautiful project with the crime police in Paris. I will follow them during 3 or 4 months every night in the crime scene, observation of a criminal, etc., your arrestations, all their work, in fact, to do something not about crime in general, but about the work of the crime police in Paris. It's really
Mm-hmm.
fascinating, something in black and white, of course, with a kind of a polar movie. You see very black, like with Humphrey Bogart, something like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Very aesthetic photo reportage.
Yeah.
Then I will continue my drag queens project in Europe, the whole Europe. It's a long project because I really want to do something in the whole Europe. For the moment,
Yeah.
when you found a reportage about drag queens, it's always in one city or in one country. I
Yeah.
started last year in the Netherlands, where I was living, and then in Finland, then Estonia, and now in France. Actually, I was also in Azerbaijan. I found the only drag queen of that country, and
Oh.
it's really fascinating. I like that work. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun, but also it's most of the time a lot of emotion because it's moving.
Yeah.
They all have a story, difficult life, especially first years of their teenage when they understood that they are different and yeah. And I have another one in Africa, as I told you before. I will go there. The first time, my first series with endangered animals was about the issues, all the issues around them. But now there is a lot of countries who made a lot of progress, a lot of effort to save lions, gorillas, elephants. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to show that progress with portraits again about lions, etc., but also the, the different personality, the different peoples, men and women, who work to save them. And
Yeah.
in several countries, like in Tanzania or Rwanda, for example, they worked a lot to change things. So I want also to do pictures from that people and to
Yeah.
show that this is maybe the 20 or 25 years after the second part of the same report. And first of all, the problem, and now the progress.
Yeah.
And maybe in 20 years, I will go back again to show the solution, and I hope. Voilà.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I have a new one because I was recently in Roma, in Italy, and in the Vatican, and I met a priest, a Lebanon priest, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really nice. And he asked me, in fact, to come in Lebanon with him to do a lot of pictures, and we will do exhibitions and probably an auction also to earn money, and all that money will serve to buy a lot of medicines for people in Lebanon, because they need absolutely all medicines, food. There is a lot of problem issues in Lebanon, actually. A beautiful humanitarian project in
Okay.
the end of December.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Gregory, it is very interesting talking to you. You made and you're still making a lot of very important projects. And I see you don't hesitate to bring yourself into dangerous situations to show us the world we cannot see in our daily life. You have published also several books with these works, and they can be ordered if someone's interested. Thank you so much for your open words.
Thank you, Petra. It was my pleasure.
And have a good time.
Bye-bye.